Good afternoon. This is Baljeet. I'm one of the migration agents with the CECA, and I welcome you to this session. In this webinar, we'll be discussing about the new changes which have come through in the recent past, like the last week. So, a few of these states, like Victoria and South Australia, has came up with their, changes for the period which is till 6th of October. Because as you all know that the government, the Australian government, federal government, has given few places to the states to fill up their places for people who are working in critical sectors. So these states have came up with their plan that how they're going to execute it, which we'll be discussing with you in this session. And then, of course, if you have questions, we can take the questions towards the end of this session. You can ask us whatever you want to ask in your for your migration needs, right? Okay. Uh, to to start with, okay, so we'll be, as I told you, we'll be discussing about Victoria, Tasmania, and South Australia, like what their new criteria is for the state nomination and what they are expecting, which occupations they are expecting, and things like that. We'll be covering in this session. Um, so let's start with it. Let's start with the basic requirement. Okay, so the basic requirement for a 491 or 190 visa, which are state sponsored, they to apply by a state or a territory government agency or an eligible sponsor. So the eligible sponsor is not covered in this one. So we'll be discussing about the state or territory nomination only. So your occupation should be on relevant skilled occupation list. In this case, the list would be the list would be supplied by the respective state. The occupations include would be the occupations which are required for the critical need to fight the COVID-19 or to make a economic recovery. So the states would be focusing on that only. So other professions should be waiting till then. So those professions will get a chance post 5th of October when the main list would be out by the federal government. So the basic requirement here would also include a skill assessment from a relevant authority, and of course you should be invited to apply, and you should satisfy the minimum point score and minimum English level, which is 6 in this case. It depends upon your occupation. Also, it can be 7 in few cases. And you need to satisfy the point test. So minimum point test which you need to do is that you should have GSM score of yours as 50. 15 is given by the states, and you reach 65 for 491. And then if you are on 60 points, 5 is given by the state for 190 visa application. Okay, the next thing is, let's see, Victoria. So Victoria, the Victorian nominations would from 6th of September 2020. They have only yesterday updated their applications post 8 September 2020. The exact list of occupations is not known yet, but it should be related to the health and other responses. So how to make an application for Victoria? If you want to, if you think like you are eligible for the Victoria nomination, you should be making an application in the following steps. So you should be first of all make an EOI at Skills Select, and then you should register your interest by 21st September in on the Victorian website, Live in Victoria website. And then if your EOI is selected, then you can make an application for a Victorian nomination. So the change here is that you need to register your interest first. So this is a step. So you need to put in an EOI, then you need to register your interest. Then your EOI would be selected if they means if they feel that you are one of the candidate which they want for this period, and then they'll invite you to make a nomination application for Victoria. So what would be the basic eligibility for this? So the basic eligibility. Okay, so the basic eligibility should would be that you are currently living in Victoria and be currently employed in Victoria for a minimum of 6 months of period. So before your EOI is made, you should be staying in Victoria and working in Victoria for the 6 months. And this work should be in a health sector, in a medical research sector, which would be essential to support the Victorian economic recovery and the health response, of course. So, but this would, as you know, all know, would be a highly competitive, market for all. So, the best applications would be selected for Victoria nomination, and the more information would be they would be releasing soon. So once again, I want to clarify here that these are the changes are only applicable till 5th of October. Post 5th of October, we are hoping that there would be new changes coming along when the federal government will out their lists for the occupation, for the other occupations, right? Let's talk about Tasmania then. So the Tasmania's program for 491 and 190 in this sector was opened on 25th of August last month. Again, the occupations which provide are needed to provide a critical and specialist medical services, or the critical occupations which are required for the economic recovery or to fight the COVID-19, or to maintain the supply chain or delivering services. These are the occupations which they will invite. So what must be there? So the applicant must provide a letter of support from their employer to which clearly state that that this person is required, his qualities and things like that, that why they need you, and why you should be get invited. So this letter should go with your application with the Tasmania nomination, if you want to get invited for Tasmania, right? And then of course, when we are talking about Tasmania, because they are also giving invitation to the people who are into supply, the occupations like a truck driver or delivery persons, those are not eligible. So I know that there is uh, something going on with the internet connection. That's why the voice may be not clear. But bear with us, please. Means this is a issue we can't tackle, because this is a the internet speed. That that's because of the internet speed it is happening. Um, if if you have any doubt, you can ask us in the end, and of course that's why we are sharing slides with you, so that you can also read by yourself that that's what we want to say. uh, all right, so the coming to the next point is the South Australia. So for South Australia, the applicant, what is the requirement? The applicant must be currently working in South Australia for at least 3 months time. 3 months. They are nominated, or applicant must, sorry, the applicant must be currently working in South Australia for at least the last 3 months in their nominated or closely related occupation for at least 20 hours per week or 40 hours per fortnight. So if you want to get an invitation from South Australia, you should be working uh, for the last 3 months in the related occupation for at least 20 hours per week. So these 20 hours per week can be like 20 hours per week, or it can be like 40 hours per fortnightly also is acceptable. So that means that in one week, if you are doing 15 hours or 10 hours, and in another week you are doing 30 hours or more, or little bit less, like 25, you are still eligible for that. The work experience must be undertaken post qualification. So this is important because all the work experience which, and moreover, it should not be a volunteer work, it should be paid work, and at the appropriate skill level. So if the market rate for, let's say, a nurse is $25 or something, you cannot be working like on 20 hours per week, or $15 per hour. So this you should take into care that whatever you are getting paid should be in the um, in that rate which is acceptable in the market. So the international graduates of South Australia, Australian Education Institutes, who have completed a PhD or a master's in research are exempted from the work experience requirement. So this 20 hours per week or 40 hours per fortnight work experience, which we have discussed uh, in the first paragraph, it's not applicable to the persons who are international graduates of a South Australian Education Institute. If you have done a master's by research or a PhD, you are exempt from this work experience. So applicants, and moreover, the applicants living in the outer regional areas of South Australia will, of course, be preferred. So the outer regional areas of Adelaide would include the areas like which are far from Adelaide. These areas would be, for example, like Victor Harbor, or Islands, or other. Basically, it's like from Adelaide, it's like past 60 or 70 kilometers, and then those kind of areas starts. Still, you can, if you are working there, you have a better chance of getting an invitation. Okay, so this was with for South Australia, and then for others, the list would be coming, as I told you, would be coming post October 5th. So then we'll be expecting patients to come with South Australia also, as earlier, that only uh, engineering professions, or which are in other professions like like in delivery of the essential goods, those professions would be given an advantage or given a preference over the others. But for all others, they have to wait until 5th of October, and then the whole list would be out by the federal government, and then you can of course get a chance to be get invited. Right. Okay. So as as we speaking means what we are for you, what CEC is doing for you. If you want to get admission in any of the courses, like in these courses, like for the future, we can help you. If you need a migration advice, we can help you out in these one. We are doing Nati and classes for free in Hindi, Nepali, and Punjabi language. And then, of course, we are doing IELTS and PT coaching. You should go to our Facebook page and like that page so that you can get the latest information about the migration. So, with this, like the consultations for the Melbourne office, we are only doing the phone consultations or Zoom consultation because it is not possible to open office. We are in a lockdown, but for other offices which are in Sydney, Brisbane, or in South Australia, we are open, and you can go and meet a migration agent there or a student counselor, whoever you want to meet. They can help you out if you need any clarification. So our Melbourne office is working remotely, and there are free, of course, free appointments and consultation. You should call that number, which is on your screens now, which is 0393361318, and we can somebody will definitely help you over the phone. All right, so that brings us towards the end of the session. Hope you had got the information, the vital information which you were looking for. Um, but if you have any questions, you can ask me. You can type the questions. You can speak on your mic one by one. Thanks for joining in. Uh, yeah. So, do we have the questions?
I just had one question. Can I
Yeah.
ask my question? Yeah, I have someone actually in South Australia, and this person said that they can sponsor me because they are a close relative. So, how does it work with that? How does that sponsor thing work? I mean, like, does
So,
they be able to invite
so
me, or would I still require this?
first of all, what's your occupation is? Sorry, what's that?
No, would the state be required to invite me if someone is already willing to sponsor me? As a,
What occupation we are talking about here?
I'm in accounting.
All right. See, Nicole, the how it works. There are two categories. First is it is a state sponsorship. Second is it's a sponsorship by a family member who is living in a regional area. So South Australia is
Yes.
a regional area, of course. But when we are talking about eligibility by the relative or by the cousin or etc. So what they need to do is they can they can sponsor you, but what you need to do is you should have the highest, like the high point score.
Okay, I'm
uh,
planning to get, I would, if after I get the experience over here and some, I'll get around 90, 85 or
mhm.
80 points. Would that
Yeah.
be enough?
So see, 90, and then 15 would be given by the state or by the your relative, so you would be on 105. I would not say that it's a bad score. You can think of it, think of getting an invitation, but side by side I would recommend that because accounting is one of the field which takes time, so you should also be looking into some other options for yourself.
Okay, okay. But
Yeah,
that is
so
a possibility that they could sponsor me as a relative.
yes, they can definitely do that.
Okay. Thank you.
Cheers. Yes, and then all right, and then who wants to ask? Let's go the questions one by one. Uh, okay, so and Azman Fayek, I'm living in New South Wales. If I want to apply for 190 in South Australia, I need a job relevant to my degree. Yes, that's the case. Right now, they are only inviting people who are in the critical sector, and those people would be working in their relevant field. There are few exceptions. Also, if you are in our regional area, you can be exempted from this. That you should that you cannot be or you may not be working in your relevant field. To discuss FIAC, I would recommend you in understanding what the requirement is. But yes, there are both the requirements. So if you are in the inner, if you we are talking about the inner South Australia, then of course you need to be working in your field. For the outer one, you can be exempted in few cases. Okay, so Z wants to ask that does everyone who had been invited for applications after nomination get the permanent residency? Kind of yes. If you are invited by the state and your all the documentation is correct, there is hardly chance for the refusal of the visa. Then of course that means that you would be getting a residency, of course. But this visa will need you to be working and getting a pay of 53,900 at least a gross salary. Then you can be eligible to get a permanent residency after 3 years. So Faik, yes, as I am in a TR now. Okay, yeah, Faik, as I told you, you can discuss with us. But yes, if you are in the outer areas, you can be working outside your profession also. Uh, so a few of us here are in final year of medical students in Adelaide. We will be staying in Adelaide for our internship, which is our first year working as doctors. Just to clarify, if we are able to apply for PR 3 months into our first job around April 2021. So yeah, Casper, whatever we have discussed, as I told you, it is applicable till October 5 only. After that, there would be new changes coming up. We hope that there would not be much of change. There would be just more occupations who would be eligible. But yes, as I said that like right now you are eligible, but they can change anytime. So around April 2021, I hope that you would be still eligible in this category. So right now you should be concentrating upon your studies and your internship, and yeah, you are at a good spot, Casper. Okay, so five questions. How long does it get PR approved by the state domination? See the average score, as all states say that the more is the better. So states don't on we have given the few states which discuss that. South Australia is not one of them. So we don't know at what point score are they inviting people. The more points you have, the better chance. And for the PR approval, the approval takes around around 6 weeks of time for the state sponsorship, and then of course it depends upon the department that how long they take when you make a visa application, how long it takes to get a visa. But you get a bridging visa on which you can stay legally in here. But the bridging visa you only get when you apply for a visa application. You don't get a bridging visa when you make an expression of interest with the state. Okay, and outer regional area, which other jobs can be exempted for me as I had done electrical engineering? See, Faik, as I told you, we cannot discuss because this would be a long discussion. Then you can call us and we can definitely help you out. Right. Or you can, Faik also on our Facebook page and we can reach you. Thank you very much. Thanks. Would like to talk to you regarding that. To give me a call, or I can, my number here with you, and you can, call me anytime, and we can discuss your case. Okay. So sorry, this one is. Sorry, it went as a private message to you. I was not, doing that thing for the everyone. Yes, okay. So this one, my number is right. So this is my number. You guys can call me if you want to discuss your matter with us. Okay. All right. I would like to thank you all again for joining us. If you have any doubts, you can call us, and do like our Facebook page to get the latest info, to get the latest updates. And then we would be back with more information whenever it is released. We'll be back with you. So until then, stay safe, and thanks for joining in. Thank you.